Okay, so we're going to talk about not being afraid to waste your high cards, and it's something that inexperienced bridge players are often very reluctant to throw away their high cards or to apparently waste their high cards. And we're going to look at some examples of this, both from the point of view of the defense and also when declarer is playing a hand. So let's start off with a relatively simple one, I hope, where South has opened one no trump, that's a weak no trump. North bids Stayman, and they end up in 3 no trump. And your partner West leads the Queen of Clubs. And I hope you can work out that that Queen of Clubs is some kind of top of a sequence headed by the Queen. And your partner almost certainly has more clubs than you do, East. You've only got 3 clubs, the ace, king, 6. So it's essential in a situation like this for you to overtake the Queen with the king or the ace, then play your other high honor, and then lead back your last club. Okay, and depending on how many clubs your partner has, they'll be able to take that third trick, and maybe that will be it. On a layout like this, they can take the first 4 tricks, but then that's all they can take. But then declarer will get in and has now got the top 9 tricks remaining. So you'll at least have held declarer to 9 tricks there. If I bring up the 4 hands, I hope you can see that if you make the mistake of letting them win with the Queen of Clubs, then you're only going to probably make 3 club tricks. And in fact, when declarer then gets back in on this layout, they'll be able to make 1 more trick. So if I click on the GIB button, you can see it saying that to hold declarer to 9 tricks, you need to overtake with the ace or the king. If you play low, declarer will make an over trick there. I hope that one is straightforward. Do interrupt me if you have any questions about it. Let's have a look at this one. And here, again, it's playing in 3 no trump, and your partner here leads a 3 of hearts, and we'll discuss what that means in a minute. And we can see a pretty nice dummy. And let's suppose declarer plays the 10 from dummy, and you, I hope, will win this one, play the queen here. That wins the trick. And I've got a poll for you here, which is, having won trick 2 with the Queen of Hearts, which card are you going to play now? And I'm going to give you a choice with about 6 different options. You've just won the Queen of Hearts. Which card do you think you should play now? Have a little think about it, and in a moment I'll launch a poll. We'll end the poll there. And let's have a look at the results. So the vast majority, 80%, have gone for the King of Hearts, with 3 people going for the 6 of Hearts and a couple of other choices as well. And let's think about what we know at this point. Your partner has led the 3 of Hearts against the 3 no trump contract. That is presumably their best suit, and it should normally show that they have at least 1 honor in that suit. Now here you can see all the missing honors, the ace, king, queen, and 10. So presumably your partner has led away from the Jack of Hearts. And what you must realize is that because you only started with 3 hearts here, you've got to try and get your partner in with the hearts at some point. And yes, you should carry on in hearts, but the right heart to play is, of course, the king. Okay, even though it's a waste, what it means is that you now have a low heart, and the expectation that your partner will get in with the Jack of Hearts and be able to make a number of heart tricks. If I bring up the 4 hands at this point, you can see that your partner does indeed have Jack, 9, 8 of hearts. So declarer will probably start playing another suit. If they play their diamonds, you might not take the first one, but if you take the second one, now you've got the 6 of hearts left, and you can cross over to your partner, who can take the remaining heart tricks, and they will defeat the contract that way. Declarer will be held to just 8 tricks there. You can make the rest, but he will go down in 3 no trump. If we go back to this point where you win the queen, if you make the mistake, if I click on the GIB button, you'll see that the only way to defeat this contract is that you play the king now, and you're wasting your honor, but it's, of course, otherwise you will block the suit, and you'll be left winning with the king, and there'll be no way over to your partner's hand. Do interrupt me if you have any questions on that. If this is the same hand, but if suppose instead when your partner leads a 3 of hearts, if declarer goes up with the ace, you have to do something very similar. You have to unblock your king and queen so that the suit doesn't get blocked. So the normal play here is actually to play the king here. That should indicate either that the king is a singleton or that you have the queen. But then when they play diamonds again, eventually you're going to get in, and then you can play the queen of hearts high from 2 remaining cards and cross over to your partner, who will again be able to take the remaining heart tricks and again defeat the contract. So do let me know if you have any questions about that. But again, you know, you have to do that, have to throw away your honor, if you like, under the ace, or you will end up blocking the suit. Do interrupt me if you have any comments on that. Let's try this one here. Here it's got 1 spade, 2 hearts by your partner, 4 spades by North, and your partner leads the queen of hearts, and down comes dummy, and we need to stop to make a plan on this hand. And what I strongly urge you to do when you become a defender here and you see dummy is try and think about where you might be able to make tricks, where you and your partner might be able to make tricks. So if we look at the spade suit, I suppose there's a possibility you might, your partner may be able to make a trick there if he's got good spades. Not that likely. In hearts, you can see a doubleton heart in dummy, and you can see that your partner has led the queen. So your partner has led from the top of a sequence, and that means declarer has got the king. So I hope you can see that you can only ever make 1 heart trick here. Okay, you may think it's unfortunate that your partner has led a heart, but that's what they led. And because of that doubleton heart in dummy, you're only ever going to make 1 heart trick. I don't think we're going to make any diamond tricks, and the only other suit where we could make tricks is in clubs. So when the queen of hearts is played, what you have to do is overtake it with the ace, and then don't carry on in hearts because you know declarer's got the king, and instead lead into dummy's weakness. And the suit to lead here is the club suit, of course. And in a situation like this, the right card to play is a high card if you have one that's higher than the highest club in dummy. So the right card to play, and I'll just bring up the 4 hands and we can see that if I click on the GIB link, there's only 1 card that can be played that will defeat the contract, which is the jack of clubs. And the reason for that is if you lead a low club and declarer plays low, then your partner can win it with the 10, but now cannot continue clubs without giving away a trick with the king. So you lead the jack of clubs, and now if declarer plays low, you carry on in clubs and you trap the king there, and your partner is able to make another club trick, and you'll make 4 tricks there and defeat the contract. I hope you can see that if you find some other, if I rewind the hand, if you play this anyway differently, if you don't find that exact defense, declarer will have a chance to draw trumps, cash 4 diamonds, and when they cash the 4 diamonds, they'll be able to throw away a number of losers. and they will make 4 spades at least on that one. So that, I hope, is one that most of you would get right. You must overtake. Don't worry you're wasting your ace on your partner's queen. And the second part of it is then to lead into dummy's weak suit there. Any comments on that? Here's another one where you've opened 2 spades. That's a weak 2. South bid 3 hearts and north bid 4 hearts. And that ended the auction. And at trick 1, your partner leads the 7 of spades. And I've got the second and final poll of the evening, which is, what holding in spades do you think your partner started off with? What was your partner's original holding in spades? What are the possible holdings they might have led the 7 of spades from? So take a minute and think about it. And in a moment, I'm going to launch a poll. And the question is, which of the following spade holdings could your partner have started with? Have a little count of the spades. Think about the missing spades. The missing spades, I'll tell you, are the ace, king, and the 7 there. Okay, so here comes that poll. Okay, let's have a look at the results. And look at the results. Well, so you can see the percentages here add up to more than 100. That's because you can select more than one of these. Most people have recognized that it could have been a singleton. But the question is, could it have been any of these other holdings? If your partner had started off with ace, king, 7, they should have led the ace, not the 7. And if they started off with ace 7 or king 7, they should have led the top card of a doubleton. So if your partner knows what they are doing, that 7 is a singleton. They would not have led the 7 if they had any of these other holdings. All right. So those of you who selected one of those are wrong, or are catering to your partner not making the right lead. But your partner on all of these other holdings would lead the top card, ace from ace, king, 7, ace from a7, or the king from king 7. If your partner has led correctly, that is a singleton. Let's see if we can put that to our advantage. Sorry, let's go on to this one. So if you trust that, you'll know that that is a singleton. Let's see what happens. You can also work out that if that's the case, that declarer is left with the ace and king of spades. So let's suppose you play low. You could play high here, but you know declarer's got to play the ace or the king here. Okay, they play the king. And let's suppose declarer now doesn't draw trumps right away, but starts playing diamonds. Suppose they play the ace of diamonds, and suppose they play another diamond. Your partner plays the jack, and you might think, oh, I can let my partner win this one with the jack. But of course, you shouldn't do that, because you can overtake this so that you can give your partner a ruff. Presumably your partner has some hearts, and if we bring up the 4 hands, we can see that we can play a low spade here and declare, and your partner will have a chance to ruff the ace of spades. Okay. After this, let's see what happens. Declarer will win that one and might turn their attention to trumps. And they can lead a diamond here, which they're going to ruff in dummy. So they ruff that one. They then draw the last trump, and they might play off some trumps here. But at the end, they should lose two club tricks there. and they should be held to 9 tricks. If we rewind the hand, let's look at this from declarer's point of view and see what they were up to. So if we look at this from declarer's point of view, we can see declarer's got no spade losers, no heart losers, but they are in danger of losing 2 clubs and 2 diamonds unless they can rough 1 in dummy, and that's what they were trying. That's why they were playing this way. That's why they didn't draw trumps, because it would take 3 rounds to draw the opponent's trumps, and instead they played diamonds and planning to rough a diamond. But if you realize what your partner must have for that lead of the 7 of spades, then you can spoil their plan by overtaking when they play the jack of diamonds and leading a spade for your partner to rough. So that's another reason you might overtake as a defender in order to give your partner a rough. Declarer could have done things slightly differently. He might perhaps have tried to draw 2 rounds of trumps and then try to rough diamonds, but there's a danger in doing that, you might get in and draw that last round of trumps. So anyway, you take advantage there of the fact of having worked out that your partner's 7 must be a singleton there. And if you're not clear that the 7 has to be a singleton, you should, brush up on opening leads, but you would never lead the 7, for example, A7 or King 7. That would be a bad mistake. You should always lead the top card of a doubleton. Any other comments or questions on that? Let's try another one. And this time we're going to look at this from declarer's point of view. And you open 1 no trump. Your partner bids 3 spades. I suppose you're not playing transfers. So 3 spades here shows a 5 card suit. And with only 2 spades, you return to 3 no trump. And the opponents lead a heart, and you can see immediately that you're in a bit of trouble here because you don't really have a heart stopper in either hand. But before we get too downhearted, let's take a moment and let's try and count our top tricks. Okay, so I don't have a poll for this, but count your top tricks, and if anyone would like to unmute themselves and tell me how many top tricks declarer has here.
9.
Hello, what's that? 9 you said as well? Yes. You have, let's go through them. You should make 5 club tricks, 3 diamonds, although you have to be a little careful about that, and you've got 1 spade. So you do have 9 top tricks, and the only thing that will stop you making those 9 tricks is if the opponents take the first 5 heart tricks. So you're hoping that they can't cash a lot of heart tricks. Let's suppose you play the queen, hopefully, but they take their king and they play a heart back and they keep playing hearts. And as they play the hearts, this is where you need to think about where your 9 tricks are. And of course, when the heart is played, you have to discard from dummy. And because you counted where your 9 tricks are hopefully coming from, you keep your clubs and you discard your spades, okay? And if they play another heart, you again discard another spade, okay? And what you're going to discard from your hand, this one isn't quite so critical, I think. You could discard a spade there. And you're somewhat fortunate here because they've now taken the first 4 tricks, but they've run out of hearts. So if they play a spade now, of course, you're not going to risk any finesse now because you've got 9 tricks. Now you take the ace of spades. Just be a bit careful now in diamonds, unblock that ace, and then you should be able to cross over, again, winning in the shorter hand with the ace and king of clubs, and then crossing over. You can cash the remaining diamonds there, and then cross over and take the last 3 clubs. So you should end up with 9 tricks there. What is very tempting to do here is you sort of end up in a state of despair when the opponents lead hearts. And if you're not careful about what you discard, you might discard some clubs from the north hand, which is of course a terrible mistake. You must discard just spades, keep your 5 clubs, or you won't make 5 club tricks. By the way, if you were playing this using transfers, you would bid it slightly differently, but still end up in the same contract. It will be 1 no trump, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 3 no trump, and again with only 2 card support, you would leave it in 3 no trump. So that's how the bidding would go if you were playing transfers. Do interrupt me if you have any comments on this. And let's look at this this one finally. This was the one I sent out in email this week. And here you open a spade, your partner goes to 3 spades. There was a 2 diamond overcall there, and you raise it to 4 spades, and the opponents lead the queen of diamonds. And let's stop to make a plan on this hand. And what we're going to do is look at each suit in turn and try and work out how many possible losers we have in each suit. So let's look at the spade suit. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but we're missing the king. So we might lose a trick to the king. In hearts, we're missing the king and the jack. So if we're unlucky, we could lose 2 tricks there. We'll come back to diamonds in a minute. And in clubs, in our hand, we actually have 4 potential club losers. If the king loses to the ace, and unless we're lucky, we could lose 4 clubs. Now, we're not going to lose 4 clubs because we can see there's a possibility of roughing in dummy, and we don't really have to lose any more than 2 clubs, I think, as long as we're able to rough the last 2 clubs. The other thing we have on this hand is we have the ace king of diamonds, and the ace king of diamonds will allow us to discard from the south hand. Now, if the opponents lead a diamond and we start off with the ace, we have to decide right away, what are we going to discard? In fact, you may as well think about what you're going to discard on the ace and king of diamonds. And I know this hand, when it was played, a lot of people sort of automatically discard their clubs, but that is a mistake. You want to discard 2 hearts, the queen and the 10, and that way you won't lose any heart tricks. And your only losers then, apart from the spade suit, will be hopefully 2 club tricks. So if you win this one, you might win it with the ace. This might be a time for you to try the spade finesse. Let's suppose you lead the jack, hoping you finesse against the king, but here the king loses. So it's worth taking stock about how many trumps have gone. So that's 4 gone there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 1 spade still out. If they play another diamond, you can win that one. And again, the right thing to do here is to discard a heart. If I bring up the 4 hands, you can see that the only way to make this contract is to get rid of that queen, because the heart finesse is not going to work. So you get rid of that queen. And now what? Well, now we need to draw the remaining trump. Let's do that. And I've still got 2 trump in dummy so that I can rough 2 of these clubs. I'm going to maybe lead a club, hoping the ace was on my left, but it's not on this occasion. So it loses to the ace. The queen wins. If they play a heart, of course, I can win that one. But now I've still got 2 trump left to cross rough the club. So I can rough the club, come back to my hand with a diamond rough, and rough that last club. And then I've got just trumps left at the end. So played that way, I should just make my 10 tricks on that hand. But a lot of people will sort of not want to throw away their queen and 10 of hearts, but it really is by far the best line here. Throwing away your clubs doesn't help. Yes.
I'm sorry to be stupid about it, but what made you decide that the hearts are better than the clubs?
Okay, so if I if I throw away my clubs,
Yes.
I still have 2 club losers.
Yes. Yes.
So it's because I'm looking at my losers, and I've got 4 potential losers here.
Okay.
But I can rough 2 of them, so I won't lose more than 2 clubs. But if I throw away my clubs, it hasn't saved me any losers. I still have 2 club losers.
Okay.
All right. So on this hand, I lose 2 clubs and the king of spades, but just make my contract.
So when you're getting rid of the hearts, you're not having to use any trumping.
Yeah, that's right. I'm getting rid of those hearts because they're 2 potential losers in hearts, and by getting rid of them,
it's not costing you anything.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
But anyway, that's the right thing to discard on the ace and king of diamonds. Say discarding 2 clubs does not help you. You're still possibly losing 2 clubs, and that's why you have to be careful about what to discard on the diamonds.
Thank you very much.
All right. Any other comments or questions? We'll end the talk there then. And I hope you found that interesting.